What's up? What's going on? What's up, everybody? Hi, share this video, share this video. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Hey, hey, hey. We about to get to it, man. Got a lot of opinions that I gotta get off my chest. Yep, about to go down. Woo! Y'all know I've been reading this book now. And in this book, oh boy, it's been a lot. We're going to talk about it. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, so as you guys can see here, we have Jane Doe number 9, How I Survived R. Kelly, the Kindle edition. Do you guys want me to cam up or do you mind if I'm cammed down? Let me know right now. Cam it up or cam it down? Which one? Let me know right now. If you want me to cam up, say up. If you don't mind, say I don't mind. Okay, let me know. What's going on? What's going on? Got the VIP Teahive in the house today. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me go ahead and share my video on my tabs. Hold on. It should say, well, uh-oh, now I can't. You know, something been going on with StreamYard. I can't see all my comments. It's up to you, beautiful Tox. I can't really see. Okay, I want to see that beautiful face, though. All right, here it is. I'm just playing. Let me go ahead and share this to a couple of tabs really quickly. So I'm going to share it there. And then we're going to get into it because, girl, I got some stuff that I want to talk about. And then I will be live when I leave here from this channel. I will be live on Tox.0 Diamond. And then when I leave from Tox.0 Diamond, I will be live on the TOXOT Law and Crime. It's going to take me a while to get over there because I'm going to make 3 videos for that channel. So we are reading Jane Doe number 9 on the home channel. This is by Lizzie Martinez. And I tell you, boy, when I tell you, hold on, let me cut this music because you're interrupting my flow. Stop. All right. When I tell you that this book is very, very descriptive, very much so off the chisane, I tell you it is, okay? And I'm not mad at Lizette Martinez for wanting to speak out. As a matter of fact, she was on the channel the other day. She was on the channel and she was letting me know that she appreciates me reading her book. So I can appreciate that she appreciated me reading the book. Made me feel very good. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedly do. It surely did. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, we're coming off of chapter 1, where in chapter 1, at the end of that chapter, Lizette Martinez's friend, Michelle, it could be Michaela, but I think it's Michelle, had just asked R. Kelly if he was ever married to Aaliyah right there in front of Barry Hankerson, who failed to say anything, which I was ranting and raving about. Okay, could have saved this girl a world of trouble if he'd have just spoken out right there and said something. I'm going to say this because this is how I feel, and we're in the very beginning of this review, but I do appreciate the fact that Lizette Martinez was not one of those ones that didn't keep it real, that he, you know, and it wasn't like he didn't know the deal. Her parents were not involved, you know. So when I was saying in my last review about how the parents, you know, the parents needed to be this, that, and the other, there she kind of put into more perspective this time in these next couple of chapters, because I'm going to be doing a review for chapter 2 through 5 on this chapter. We read 3 chapters today. And so she put it into perspective about her situation with her parents, and it helped you to understand a little bit more of why. Yeah, so we're reading chapter 2 through 5. So it helped you to understand a little bit more of a perspective on why it was that she did or did not communicate with her parents in regards to R. Kelly. Am I sticking? It looks like I'm sticking. Hold on. Let me take this off. What's going on? What's going on? It looks like I'm freezing up. Can you guys hear me correctly? Are you guys okay with the sound? Can you guys hear me right? Okay, just want to make sure that everybody can see me, hear me, because I feel like I'm sticking every now and then for some reason. My bars are low. All right, hold on. We're going to have to change locations. Let me get closer. Oh, I'm good? Okay, all right. I felt like every now and then it was freezing for some reason. Okay. All right, y'all. So let me get the little computer plugged in, and we about to get to this good old review. So we just came off of Barry Hankerson failing to tell this girl that this man has had issues with his niece in the past. We all know his marriage from Aaliyah was annulled. We know that they got married in a hotel room from court documents at this point. This was all up and through his trial, so that's that, so that's a fact. Okay, we're not wondering, we're not guessing, these are facts at this point. Okay. So as they're leaving the restaurant, she points out that they actually did not pay for their meal. Okay. He invited them to the studio after they eat, and they were on their way to the studio, but everybody just started running when they left the restaurant as they were getting their coats and stuff. His crew just took off, and she was wondering, like, what the hell is going on? Well, it turns out that they never paid for any of the food. Now, mind you, other people in the restaurant started noticing R. Kelly when he was leaving, and she didn't know what to do. So she was just looking around at everybody noticing him. And he told her, don't worry about them. You worry about getting your butt to the car, basically. Okay. But it was people screaming and yelling, and that was basically her first experience of like being around that type of high profile celebrity where people are screaming and yelling his name. Okay. All right. So that was that situation. So after they left the restaurant, they then go into his studio. And this is a really nice studio. She thought it was very professional. There were gold and platinum albums hanging along the wall and all of that stuff. She said it was a dream come true. She never seen any place like that. It was the place where the Bee Gees were a solid fixture at, and that she felt really like she was in a good place. I mean, who's not going to feel like that? You're with R. Kelly. Hell, I wasn't even, let me tell y'all something. I met a dude named Larry Drummer who was the victim of somebody catfishing, pretending to be him on the show Catfish. And I met him in LA, and I just felt like I was just doing something, honey. So therefore, I mean, if you with R. Kelly, and yeah, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm at the same studio that R. Kelly like fucking records at. Oh my God, like, oh my God, I'm here, I'm in this bitch. Oh my God, like, oh God, like, oh my God. Okay, period. You already know the vibes. Like, don't even play with it, okay? So anyway, but when they got there, they separated her from her homegirl. They just like separated them. The homegirl, Michelle, is in a whole different room with that dude, Matt, that keep trying to put his big ass chain around her neck. And Michelle is not very happy about it. She's upset, but she's just in the next room over, and they got like TVs and games and stuff to pass the time while they're recording in the studio. Now, listen, Lizette said she was so nervous that it was so many electronics and stuff up in there, that it was an elegant piano in there, and that he got on that piano and he started to play the piano for her while she was sitting on the bench with him. And that, what she heard from him was absolutely incredible, that she was just staring in his eyes. She was like stuck in awe of listening to him sing on this piano. And they were in there for about 45 minutes when he started putting his hands on her legs and all of that stuff. Now, for me, you being a grown adult man and knowing that this girl is 17 years old and rubbing your hands all up and down her legs, I mean, I wish I was there to tell her, get your ass up now and leave. But unfortunately, I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And so here we were with the with the mess from this situation with Aura to the Kales. Okay. So she did push his hand away though. And then he started playing Boys to Men. But the fact that she pushed his hand away, that was her body giving her signs of a boundary, that her boundaries were being crossed. And she wasn't like paying attention to it. Girl, let me tell you something. Okay. All right. So it's like, girl, let me tell you something. Okay, you should have paid attention to that red flag, and I promise you that. All right. So she basically said that he had asked her to sing for him, and her nerves were so racked that she opened her mouth and nothing came out. And when nothing came out, he dipped his head down and then he started kissing her. I guess he thought she wanted a kiss since she was like, and nothing came out. Okay. So he put his tongue in her mouth, and she's never been kissed like that. So she didn't kiss him back. Okay. She didn't kiss him back. And so he pulled away and continued to play his music. Okay. Now she said that she was nervous that that would happen again. So she started singing with him, and he started smiling and, sliding his knee onto her knee. And he told her that they got a lot of stuff going on. He said he liked to kick it with her, and he wanted to kick it with her again. Okay. But she had to go because she's 17. She got school. She got a 9 o'clock curfew. And so she had to go. Now, he asked her if she wanted to swim. Now, this is not the first time that we've heard about him in this damn swimming pool thing. Okay. We've heard about this music thing. Oh, I'm going to make you a big star. And we've heard about this swimming pool thing now for quite some time. This is not the first time. We have heard this over and over, the same stuff about this swimming pool and making these girls into a star. Okay. So he said he don't know how to swim, but he wanted her to teach him how to swim. He had Big John to take her home, which was his bodyguard. And she slipped off to Michelle's house because her family actually lives in a small little house in somebody's backyard. So like, a back house, but it's one room, and they're basically stepping on each other just to get to the refrigerator, is what she said. Now, when she gets to Michelle's house, she tells Michelle what happens. And Michelle tells her, I think that dude is a weirdo, and she says, well, it's a great opportunity. Now, this was a flag number 2 since this story started, since chapter 2 started. And I was like, But she basically says that he acts like a big kid, that he's like a big child, that he's really youthful. And so, that's the energy that she gets from him. I think I've heard a lot of people say that. I do know that Demetrius Smith, from me being around Demetrius Smith myself, I do know that Demetrius Smith is like that. He's very youthful as well. And that he plays a lot. I mean, I couldn't even go to my court date. Me and Demetrius was in there laughing so hard. And those are the breaks. I do feel like he gives off that youthful energy. Like I said, it is what it is. Those are just the breaks. Okay. But I also feel like that's also a red flag as well, but she at this time is 17. She's not like the grown woman she is today. So I know looking back, she probably like, damn, I missed a lot of red flags. Girl, you sure did, girl. But anyway, so now we're on chapter 3, and she comes home and she can't sleep. Like she said, she gets dropped off at Michelle's house because she didn't want to get into it with her parents. And they have this grumpy woman that lives in the front house named Gladys. Okay. She talks about how her mother is going through the change, like she's getting older and she's got menopause. She's always upset. And so she doesn't want to upset her mom. She barely want to tell her mama her business because her mom is an alcoholic. Her mom has her own traumas that she's going through from her own childhood. And I think that was very important for her to acknowledge. The fact that she acknowledged that about her mom said a lot to me. And it really made me look at her a lot different, like with a point of respect, because it takes for a person to understand people, to understand that if your parent doesn't take their anger out on you, just know that they do have their own traumas and they're a human. So if they don't take it out on you, be understanding. You know what I'm saying? And also, though, don't be a parent that's taking your anger out on your child. That's not cute. Like, you're not eating, honey. Okay. So, but the fact that she did recognize that her mom has her own issues and her own traumas, and she didn't want to trigger anything in her mom, and I respect the hell out of that. Y'all, y'all just don't know how much, because sometimes you have to ask yourself, how am I contributing to this woman's mental problems? How am I contributing to this person's mental issues? And you got to switch up and change the way you're doing things, because guess what, parents aren't perfect. Okay, they're just someone who had sex and then gave birth. That doesn't mean that they're perfect. That doesn't mean that every parent is going to be not have their own traumas and their own triggers and their own situations. So when Lizette said that, I was like, come on now, big girl energy for real. Okay, grown woman energy. I like that. Even though she was a child at that age, and I do feel like she should have had that, she should have had that space to be able to talk to her mother about this and get some insight from her mom. Because one thing that she had been bringing up is that she had other opportunities that her mom did step on. We'll get into that for in a minute, because the further we go along in the chapters is when that goes along. So in chapter 3, she was basically talking about this lady, Gladys. Okay, that R. Kelly then called her house. I keep stuff from my family so they don't have to worry, right, or be triggered. That's very true. It's very true. But she was talking about this woman Gladys, and about how Gladys um has the phone in her house, and that's in the front house. And R. Kelly then called Gladys's house, and Gladys is an old grumpy ass lady, okay, who don't want nobody calling her house, and she makes sure she scars and scowls at people because she doesn't want anybody, she basically don't want nobody calling her house for them, okay. But she said this woman is big and scary, and she didn't like that. Okay, so Gladys goes back there and tells uh Lizette's mother that R. Kelly, a grown man, was calling for Lizette. She said, child, Lizette said she felt like running to Canada, that she'll get used to the cold if she need to. Okay. Um, and she said that the man wouldn't give his name, but that she knows that she can't get phone calls there, so knock it off. And she felt embarrassed because she didn't want R. Kelly to know the type of life that she lived. But see, with people like R. Kelly, with him knowing that she lives that type of life, those type of people only take advantage of it. You see what I'm saying? Um, those people, they use that situation. Oh, let me get you out the hood. Oh, let me get you out of here. Let me fix this for you. Let me fix that for you. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he also called Michelle's house, which she can't figure out how she got her number at all. And he sent somebody to Michelle's house, and Michelle had to tell him, look, her parents are very strict. This is not okay. And Michelle also doesn't want to be the go between guy for this situation. I think Michelle felt it in her soul that it just wasn't right. But she did call him back, and he did invite her to the studio again. um and she basically asked him, do you want to talk to my parents? And I thought that was something big that she brought up. She brought it up like, listen, do you want to talk to my parents? And he said, I don't like to talk to parents. Now, if that is something that a grown ass man says to you, honey, that's red flag number 4. Baby, run for your life. Okay, I don't like to talk to parents. Oh, hell no. Something wrong if you don't want to talk to my parents. And we're supposed to have a business relationship. Because at this point, she's thinking that they have only a business relationship. She's not knowing that they have that he, what his intentions are outside of this situation with her. So she's not understanding what really is about to happen. You know what I'm saying? And as unfortunate as it is, a lot of our children get lost in this and don't get it. They don't understand that, what's about to happen to you is something ungood, baby. Okay. And so I think that this was a clear sign, a clear indication that something bad was about to go on. But she's a child and she ignored it. um I don't know. Hold on, let me put this up here. Book review for I'm going to put Lizette. Hold on. For Lizette Martinez. Let me see if she pop up. How she going to pop up? It's a lot of Lizettes. Ooh, wee. For Liz Martinez. There's too many dang on Lizettes. When I tell y'all, I don't know if this is her or not. I'm going to hashtag it. Hashtag Lizette Martinez. Not Martins, Martinez. Okay. Jane Doe, number 9. Surviving R. Kelly. All right, let me just share this good old link. Because honey poo poo. Honey poo poo. All right. So we get, he told her he doesn't want to talk to her parents. Big red flag, big problems, big issues. I mean, she could have got in trouble for real. He said parents don't usually like me. Well, you sound like an effing creep if that's, if that's the case. So anyway, he says there's still a pool there's still a pool here. You can come by if you want to. And of course, she goes by. She says, "How do I get there?" And he tells her it's a Miami Beach house on Chase Avenue and 41st, which she didn't really think was cute, but whatever. He had dogs there when she walked up. One of his dogs' name was 12 Play. Child, I said, not the damn dog name is 12 Play. If you don't damn name that dog Fido or Scooby and get on with yourself, not the damn dog's name was 12 Play. Okay. But the dog name was 12 Play. It was a bunch of friends there. And you see, that's one thing about being a young woman. You don't just go around these dudes. Like, if it's more than 2 people, one man is enough. But going around multiple men and having multiple men around some, these young girls, that's not okay with me at all. Okay, so 12 Play was all up on her, scrambling on her feet, while the bodyguard and all his other friends is drinking. Now, mind you, this is a 17-year-old little girl. Okay. Now he relaxing in a damn lawn chair, ain't got on no kind of swim gear at all. Talking about he wanted her to teach him how to swim. So it went from she gonna teach him how to swim to he just want to watch her. But anyway, at that point, it didn't seem like he was being pushy at that point, because he said he got to go to the studio and she had to go home because obviously she had school. So he basically told her he's not going to change the way he works. He works at night, but whatever they needed to do to work around their schedules to get something going, that they would get something going. Okay. Now in chapter 4, she starts talking about her opportunities before R. Kelly. Very important because it shows you the role that her parents have played in being her protectors through all this time. You see what I'm saying? And through different people managing her. So the first person that was managing her, they took her to, she was in a group with 2 other girls. He took her to an R. Kelly concert to show her how the young ladies were headlining that were there and how they were supposed to go. But he was dating one of the girls in the group who was in her 20s. So it wasn't a thing. Her name was Jeanette. It wasn't a thing of them being underaged at that point with the manager. But that was an ethical thing, because you don't want to be dating your manager. It's just not okay. She said that this girl Jeanette could sing like Mary J. Blige, but the manager made her feel like that he had a crush on all of them at one time. He would be flirtatious pretty much with all of them. He asked her if he could take her out to dinner, and her mom said only if Jeanette was there. So Jeanette came along, and they got into an argument during dinner. Now, during this argument, matter of fact, after this argument, let's just say that they were walking out the restaurant, and she said something, and he socked the girl dead in her damn mouth. And she said she was at the ghettoest place ever, and she didn't know what to do. Now, she was poor, But baby, she didn't grow up watching nobody get the shit slapped out of them like that up in her house. If you hit her mama, you gonna end up in a damn hospital because her mama ain't going for that. And I know that's right. Okay, so that, man, I'm telling you, it's them roots. You gotta know them roots, honey. Because that sets you apart from the people that don't know their roots, because folks will let you do anything to them based on the fact that if they seen it or not. You hear what I'm saying? Okay, she said nobody ever put their hands on my mom because she'd end up killing them. I know that's right. Okay. And she said as soon as she got home, she just told her mom everything. And her mom was like, your little career with him is over. Don't even try it. He ain't coming back around. It ain't gonna happen again. Don't even try it. Okay. So then she had another opportunity where she her sister was coming back from New York because she was in university, and they met Tito Puente Jr., who her father and her mother really idolized his father's singing and his music career. So Tito Jr., calling himself, managing them, and they would have a lot of fun together. He became like a second family member. But Tito had other intentions because he bought her a gumball machine ring, in that little plastic thing with the red top. And he asked her, would your parents let me marry you when you turn 18? Okay. And she said, I don't even like you like that because you old. Okay. And that fell out. So that situation was gone before she knew it. And then she talked about how she was walking down the street with her dad. So it seems like she's a very attractive woman, and that was the reason why she was putting emphasis on maybe the way she looked at her young age. Perhaps she was putting all of this together for us so that we could see that maybe she was developed. She was walking down the street with her dad, and her dad said he hate to walk with her because men be looking at her and he just be wanting to kill them all, child. I said, I know that's right, Dad. Okay. I hate that too. I always look at people. It could be a female looking at my daughter crazy, and I'll be like, the fuck you looking at my 13-year-old daughter like that for? Like, I literally have those times where I be like that too. So I 100% understand. But I felt like she was trying to illustrate to us and let us know that she maybe was developed and maybe looks older than she actually was. And maybe that's why people older than her was attracted to her. But it also goes to show how deep involved her parents were in this. Right, TT, you feel me? Okay. It also goes to show, hi, Chocolate Eyes, how deep her parents were involved in what she had going on from the very beginning, and I feel like that was a pattern for her to follow. It's too bad she fell out of that pattern and fell into this mess. What's up, Stacy? Because, man, I mean, she could have saved herself a whole lot of heartache, heartbreak, and back and forth with this dude. Like, seriously, okay? So in chapter 5, which was the last chapter that I read today, she was talking about how she got a side job after school. And she wanted to basically let him know that she was going to set boundaries because she was unsure of continuing to keep this secret business relationship with him, as far as it being professional. And she wanted to really get to the music. And in order to do that, she's going to need permission from her parents. So it sounded like she had her head on straight. She knew what the hell was up. Okay, you can't do nothing with me without my parents' approval, and I'm under 18. Hell, sometimes nowadays you got to be 21. I'm just saying, okay? So anyway, he sent the car over to her house to pick her up. And so she was going to be alone. Michelle wasn't there, okay? But she wanted to get away from her little apartment at the time. Now, they met at a restaurant, and she was excited. But the restaurant was like kind of trashy. And she was like, maybe that's just him trying to, keep us to a point where I don't have, expectations of him or whatever. But this time he seemed polite and acting nice and everything. And, he wasn't trying to be pushy and push up on her and force kisses and touch her legs and all that stuff like that. Okay. So anyway, they got in a car. They went to the recording studio. They went to a different one in the Art Deco district at the Marlin Hotel, South Beach Studio. That's what it was called. Okay. So after they go to this, well, as they're in this impressive studio, okay, she's noticing all of these beautiful fixtures in there, that there's an area with couches and lounges and for lounging and all of that stuff. But she also notices that there's people there, and there's bouquets of roses and teddy bears and gifts and all kinds of cards for him. She being nosy, child. And and she says that she saw a card from somebody calling uh her themselves his little, and she thought it was Tony Braxton's little sister is what it was saying, but she said it said, Tony Braxton, happy birthday, I love you, your little Tony Braxton, XOXO. Now I don't know if y'all know about the music industry, but they sure do have bigs and littles. They have different type of industry parties and connections. I think that Megan Thee Stallion was in a household with a couple of they were like on an industry trip, and I believe that she said it was either Shaka Khan. Who was that? It wasn't Shaka Khan. It was dang it, it was another woman that was mentoring them at the time. I can't remember the name of it right now. It wasn't Patti LaBelle, but it was one of them old timers. But that was mentoring them. So they definitely do have those type of parties. But she said Tony Braxton wrote R. Kelly happy birthday, and she said she just wanted to focus on something else, okay? Because she was starting to feel some type of way. Okay. All right. So yes, Stacy, if you want the full book read, you're gonna have to sign up to my Patreon $7 tier, and or make sure you catch my reads on my home channel. But they're not scheduled. So I might just get on there and read, or I might get on there and schedule the read. You just have to keep an eye on the home channel. YouTube does have different rules now, and so they're not allowing me to read these books unless I have permission. And even with the permission that I have from like Tony Michelle and stuff, they still try to say, like, I had permission for the books that I left up there, and they still try to say that they couldn't monetize it for copyright reasons and this, that, and the other. So I had to change what I had to do. Okay. I had to change how I did this. Okay. So anyway, so she says that there were doors and doors of music studios everywhere, that they were playing mama, they were doing mama, yo mama jokes. All of his friends were yo mama joking it up and doing pranks. And she said that Rob asked her to come close to him for his new song, I Can't Sleep Baby, so that she can watch him sing his new song. But he, when he was reading the words or trying to read the words or something like that, that things were sounding a little bit off, that people around him were scared to look at him and tell him that he was off just because he couldn't read. He's illiterate. He can't read. And so as he was trying to do, read these lines or quote these lines, he made a mistake, and everybody was like, and didn't want to look at each other and didn't want to say anything because they felt scared. Okay. So she leaned in and she said that line of words didn't really make sense, and it would sound better if you blah, blah, blah. But he looked at her so cold and got so mad, and he shouted, oh, you gonna want some royalties now? Something like that, something along those lines. Okay. And so she felt embarrassed to the point where she started to cry, but she didn't want to let none of her tears come out, but she wanted to dip out that room. Okay. And then so the engineer felt so bad that he jumped in and he said, Rob, that line wasn't right. And she was glad that he spoke up for her, she said, but she was humiliated. So Rob came out of the studio and talked to her, but she said he was talking at her at this point, and that she was feeling awful and it wasn't helping. So she decided to just she basically pointed out the fact that it was hard for him to apologize because it would make him feel like he did something wrong. So she basically tried to break that ice and just went into asking him something about his mama. Okay. And that's when he starts squeezing her hand real hard, and he started lighting up and telling her how much he loved his mom, and she passed away before he got the chance to make it big in the industry, and that she was the light of his life and that she was everything to him. And she understood that his mom was everything to him because, of course, she feels that way about her dad. She did say that her and her mom got into it a lot, and she don't really get along with her mom, but she said that her and her dad definitely, he's the love of her life, and she still feels that way, even though he's still alive and kicking. But she said from that moment on, she stopped seeing this damaged or this mean man or this superstar even, and she started seeing a damaged little child that was suffering from not having his mother in his life. And you know, and she said that he started to look at her different, and maybe he saw that she cared about him, you know, or maybe he thought that, ooh, now I got her. I'm just saying. Okay. But she said that she started to want to get to know more about him at this point, that he felt bad for snapping at her because he took her home himself, but that she was really, really awestruck with him and just really wanted to get to know him as a person by this time. And then he just up and left and went to Chicago. Didn't tell her nothing, but um, she was hoping that by the time he would get back, that he would want to meet her parents, because her life was getting hard to keep a secret at that point. And that she always had to have him to drop her off 2 blocks away or at Michelle's house, because she was in hiding from her parents over this issue, but she was afraid to let him go. She was afraid to tell him that she wanted him to meet her parents, because she felt like she would blow her her full opportunity of making it big. The sad part is that she never did make it big, because obviously we can see she's become a survivor of his. But he has told several women that he was going to give them a music career and never did. I always wondered why he didn't want to make his brothers into musicians. He said he didn't like to work with family like that. But I always thought that was kind of jacked up. It's jacked up when you sit back and you think about it and you're like, man, this man told these people he was going to make them famous. And then look what happened. Like, that's really jacked up to me. I'm sorry. It just really is. And when I put it into perspective, it just be like, that is so up. Like, that's the saddest thing I ever saw in my life. I'm just saying. All right. Anyway, y'all leave comments. Let me know what you think. What is this on my lip? Okay, y'all leave comments. Let me know what you think. Make sure you tune in daily, because I will be here every day. Yesterday was Mother's Day, so I hope all of the mothers had a good day. Yeah, that is messed up when you think like, oh, I'm about to get a career popping, and then, you know, years later down the line, nothing's popping. It's just messed up. And in the beginning of this book, the very first chapter, even the epilogue, she was talking about how she was having a miscarriage and he didn't even care. You know, like these dudes, it's like the Safari Samuels complex. They put in all this effort to get you, and then when they get you, all of a sudden they throwing you to the wayside like you don't matter no more. It's just like, well, damn, I could have went without all of this. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, we glad that she's still with us. I don't know if you guys know this, but she did come by on the home channel, and she did post on the home channel. I did show my morning audience the read. When I did the read, I did show them this. Let me see. What? Wait a minute. No, what? Wait a minute. Let me find it, y'all. Because now it's telling me. I'm so confused. Those comments was just on here this morning. Is it because I have it on private? Let me see. Let me put it on unlisted and see what happens when I do that. Let me see if the comments pop up. Where is those comments? Yo, this is so weird. What in the heck? Y'all, I promise Lizette Martinez made a comment on this video, but I think because I put it on private that all of the comments disappeared. I don't know what the heck. Let me see. Maybe if I publish it and then do like this, let me see if I can get it to pop up. I'm just rejuvenating it right now. Let me see something. Oh, there it is. Okay, it was because I had it on private. So Lizette Martinez, the writer of this book, Jane Doe #9 in the trial, she did come to the channel and she made these comments. And it said, her channel is called Let's Talk with Lizette Martinez and Big Wall. And she said, damn, you should have been my Audible actress. And I said, LOL. Then I said, good book, good job. Sorry for you having to deal with that backlash, was jacked up. And she said, and Stacy said, thanks for reading the book. Did you remove the playlist for the book Vindicated from Corinne Steffens? Also, the book Confessions from Video Vixen is back to the front. It starts with the last chapter, okay? As you can see, a lot of people are saying that that they love this book. Zay said she sent him a signed copy of the book, which is pretty dope. That will be great. So I am going to try to get an interview with her in regards to the book. And I'm just, I'm just trying to make sure that I be respectful towards her in the position that, that she's in with everything with this case. Even though it seems like R. Kelly is done and that he'll be in there for the rest of his life, he still has appeals left. He still has another court case that he still needs to do, another trial, and there's still a lot that's still pending with it. So I just kind of don't want to be careless with it. I'm just trying to just kind of chill out and let it be what it is, and not just be so try to move so fast with it. I kind of want to, I want it to take the time that it needs to take. Anyway, you guys can go find Jane Doe #9, How I Survived R. Kelly, on Amazon. It's by Lizette Martinez. She is one of the young women that lived with R. Kelly, just in case y'all don't know. And I read a little bit of this description. So then it says here, I'm going to read a little bit more as we go with this book. At first, it seemed that her hopes of becoming a professional singer were about to become true when he offered to help her boost her career. However, this mentorship quickly turned into sexual grooming, leading to years of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. After struggling to free herself of the relationship and rebuild on her own, Lizette's successful new life far away from the entertainment industry was interrupted in 2017 by allegations against R. Kelly by other women. This led to her coming forward to the authorities with her own story of abuse by the music icon. Okay, so that's all I'm going to read there for now. You guys are welcome to go read the rest on your own if you want to, but I appreciate you joining me for this video. Guys, make sure you keep your eyes on the channel. You heard her bad talk me in an interview. Did you? Oh, can you send me the link to my into my Instagram, TOXSDIAMOND? So here's my interview, my link, TOXSDIAMOND. I'm sorry, this is my IG. It's at TOXSDIAMOND. So send me that link if you have it, and I will appreciate it. Thank you very much. And that's okay. When these victims of R. Kelly, when they, bad talk me or whatever they need to say about me, that's okay. A lot of the times it's because I've probably spoken with somebody that they don't mess with. For instance, I was dealing with Demetrius Smith, who had told me with his own mouth that he did walk people over to R. Kelly, young women. He had a picture of R. Kelly with two very, very young Caucasian women that the world has never seen. I've seen it. The world has never seen it. He has a cartoon of R. Kelly that a lot of people don't know exists. And I've associated with him in close ranges. So that could be a reason why. Also, I did spend time at the Savage's house. I actually watched Surviving R. Kelly. I was there for about 6 days, back and forth, interviewing, watching, interviewing and watching and hanging out. So, a lot of people get upset about that. I do also, I've spoken and done interviews with Cash Jones, who at one point was a mole in that camp and was on in her video. Okay, interview with Goddess Dawn. Okay, thank you. I'm going to look that up. Goddess Dawn. And let me put R. Kelly in there. Goddess Dawn R. Kelly. So about R. Kelly's new attorney. Let me see. Live recap. Day 5. Which one of these is it? It's so many of them. She got a lot of videos in here about the R. Kelly stuff. So anyway, yeah, you're going to have to send me the link. It's just too many of them. There's too many of them. Oh, yeah, it's just too many. Sheesh. She makes a lot of videos. about this man. So yeah, send me that link, please. I would appreciate it very much. And yeah. So, but and like I said, it could be because of the people that I was associated with, because I did associate with those people and have, connections and ties to certain people. Like Asante McGee hates my guts because I spoke to and interviewed her husband. She left her husband to be with R. Kelly, left her kids to be with R. Kelly, and she had a boyfriend, left her boyfriend to be with R. Kelly. Even though she was married, she left her husband to be with her boyfriend and her boyfriend to be with R. Kelly. Okay, so I'm just saying, did you answer my question regarding Vindicated? I did, Stacy. I told you that all of my books are soon to pop up on my book club, which is $7 a month on my Patreon. Okay, let me take you guys over to my Patreon and show y'all some stuff. I do have to get my Patreon together. I will be doing some uploads like tomorrow. Tonight, I have to work on, I have 2 more videos to do after this. And I do have, I have 2 more videos to do. And I do have some website stuff to do because I'm way behind on my website. It's just so sad. So I need to get my website together. So I do have some people that fell off of my Patreon this month. But I do have many, many posts on my Patreon. Hold on, let me see. Many, many posts on my Patreon. Right now, I'm only at 7 patrons left from what I had before, which was I was almost at like 20. But when you don't pay the bill and stuff like that, then it will take you off of here. It automatically will take you off of here. Okay. All right. So this is the Patreon. I did have this video up. I spoke to Monique's parent. That's part 1. Let's Chit Chat, part 2. Reaction to Trees' daughter's interview. Just little messages. This video, the man who loves to. Let me see. So that's a Vimeo video. Here's the Pursuit of Portia Reed 6. Message to small bloggers. Those are Yawn Before Dawns. Chit Chat to the Counselor. So these are Yawn Before Dawns. The Pursuit of Portia Reed 5. So I just need to get the rest of the Pursuit of Portia's up, and then I will start adding other books. But go to my Patreon, to my $7 tier, and sign up. That's what that's what needs to be done in order to take advantage of all of the book reads. But on this channel, guys, we are going to, and it's TOXSDIAMOND. So on my Patreon, it's patreon.com/TOXSDIAMOND. So that would be spelled like this, .com/TOXSDIAMOND. So we're going to have a, hold on. I'll keep typing that in wrong. So that's going to be my Patreon right there. But we're going to have reality raps and everything else for the books that I read, where I do extreme remixes and visuals and stuff like that. And so it's going to be pretty dope. It's going to be pretty dope. I think that you guys will get a kick out of that. I think that's going to be fun for us. I think that there's a lot that I'm going to bring to the channel. I'm going to be bringing news about books, and also hopefully interviewing a lot of African-American authors and other type of authors as well. Period. And so just to let you know, just make sure you keep your eye on all my channels, because I gets around on this YouTube streets. Okay, I'll be hitting the corners. Bow. Now I'm over here at this house. I don't know. I own about 8 good houses here on YouTube. So all I'm saying is keep your eye up on me. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for joining me for this review of Jane Doe number 9. Again, you can find that on Amazon at your discretion. Leave comments. Peace and love.